All right, in this video we'll get the enemy actually being destroyed by either being hit by the bird itself or being hit by those blocks, okay? So let's take a look here. We're going to create a new script. So under my scripts, I will create a new script and we'll call it enemy. Enemy. There we go. And we'll open that up. And the script is actually not going to be that tricky. You might sort of think that it is. I'll drag this over here, but it's actually not too bad. It's pretty straightforward. So when we take a look here, we can actually get rid of basically all this for the moment. Just delete all that. What we're going to do is, as you probably suspected, we're going to do an on collision enter. So on collision enter 2D. So this will run when there is a collision, and this is going to be on the enemy. So we have to think about what could hit the enemy. Basically, there's three things, right? The enemy could hit the enemy. And if that happens, we don't want anything to die, right? We don't want it to get destroyed. The bird could hit the enemy. And the third thing would be one of the boxes could hit the enemy. So, and if you think about those, like I said, the enemy hitting itself kind of thing, or one enemy hitting another, we don't want anything to happen. So we have to sort of differentiate between that. The bird, probably if it got hit, we will just destroy it with the bird, so it doesn't matter how it hits it. But the brick, we need it to sort of come down maybe kind of on its head. If it just sort of bumps it on the side, or it's not that hard on the from the top, we probably don't want to kill the bird, or sorry, the monster. So what we'll do here is just a series of if statements. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create bird. Now I'm just thinking we had bird controller here, so let's just bird controller. Okay. And we'll just call it bird, I guess. And so what we're doing here, so collision dot collider. So what we're going to do is grab that component. So this is a second here, get component, and if it's got the bird controller on it, basically we're just going to fill this in. So if the object that it touches does have a bird controller on it, then we know it's a bird. Now you could have done this different ways. You could have done it with a tag. That would have been fine. This is just one way of doing it. So basically, if the bird is not null, right? So if it is able to find, I can't type here, if the bird does not equal null, and let me just fix this up because things are going weird here. Okay, there we go. Man, okay, there we go. So if the bird is not null, then what we're going to do is we're going to destroy the object, right? We're going to destroy the enemy here. Okay, let's just make sure everything's going okay. Oh, I see what happened. There we go. Okay, the other thing could be, it could be the enemy. So I'm going to do the same thing. So enemy, because we call that script enemy is equal to, in fact, I'm just going to copy this. So if the thing that we run into has the enemy script on it, because therefore it is an enemy, we'll do the same thing. So if enemy does not equal null, then we're going to do nothing actually, right? Because we said with enemy on enemy, just does nothing. And so we'll just use a return. So it just sort of skips out of it. Okay, so if it is the enemy, it just returns. We don't worry about that collision anymore. The third possibility, a little bit more complicated, is if, so I mean, we only have 3 objects in our game. So this, you might have to change this code if you end up with more different objects and you want them to behave differently. But at the moment, basically anything else. And this is a little interesting thing I didn't know about either. When it collides, it creates sort of an array of what it's collided with. So what you can do is you can run through the array. So you could basically, how do you say it? You could sort of list basically them all, and then you could use sort of like, I guess, a for loop and run through and see what the contacts are. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to take the first contact and assume, and it's a pretty good assumption, that that is the we're going to check the object. It would have to occur right at the same time, right? Because this is going to be constantly, right when that one collision occurs, you'd have to have two things at once. It's probably just going to be, the third thing, right? It's not going to be a bird. It's not going to be a enemy. Therefore, it is going to be the brick falling, or the crate, I guess. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that value and we're going to normalize it. And normalize it means putting it between 0 and 1, basically, or 0 and -1, depending on the direction here. So we're taking the value of y. Where is it coming down? So the y values would be more vertical, right? The x values would be horizontal. So basically, we wanted sort of a majority vertical hit to cause it to die. And we set it to normal so that we don't have to worry about different values. It will set it sort of on a scale from 0 to 1. And basically, if it is, and it has to be coming down, so if it is, let me just think about, yes. So if I had to work because it's coming down, it's negative. So if it's less than -0.05, so if it's more negative than that, so basically from -0.5 to -1, and that would indicate a more vertical drop. If that's the case, we are going to destroy the game object. Destroy the game object. So it should destroy the enemy as well. So those three should do it. So let's take this, let's save it. Let's go back and test it out here. And so I'm going to put it on both these monsters. I don't have any prefabs or anything. I mean, this is pretty bare bones. So just make sure both are selected. Add component. What did I call it? The enemy script. Add that on there. There's no errors. So we seem to be good. So we'll try this out. So what we're looking for. So that was good in the sense that we didn't hit anything on the top, and so none of them died. So let's just try. Okay, still, I gotta do a better job here. So what I'm trying to do is hit. I'm just trying not to. Oh, I did it again. Oh, but it looks like I lost one. So I think the bird hit that guy. So that's why. Oh man, you can play test this better. Let's see. This is riveting. Oh man, riveting videos here. One more time. Oh, man. Okay. Now, it's interesting that one did seem to, and I'm maybe not watching carefully enough. Okay, so they're both there. Okay, so the bird did touch it, and that's what happened there. And I guess the other one did get hit by a brick as well. I wasn't really watching the other one. I was too busy. Yeah, so it seems to be working pretty well. Okay, good. So I think we'll end this video here. We've got a bit more to go, but we're nearing the end here.